For the midlife woman who is struggling with her workouts and weight gain, I want to share my story with you. So, a couple of years ago, I made a decision that felt to me like defeat at the time. After 20 years of lifting weights, I put down my dumbbells completely. And I spent an entire year doing nothing but reformer Pilates. And this wasn't because it was what I wanted to do. It was because a year into menopause, my body just left me with no choice. Every time I tried to push heavy weights, I paid for it with inflammation, with puffiness, with soreness that lingered for days. I developed frozen shoulder, and I found that I was gaining weight despite training consistently and eating well. My body just wasn't recovering. And when our bodies can't recover, pushing harder isn't the answer. It just creates more damage. So I stepped back, and I can tell you that the year, it wasn't wasted. I built real upper body strength. My core became more stable than it had ever been. I gained mobility and flexibility. But at the end of the year, I ran a DEXA scan. And what I found is that I had lost significant leg muscle. So if you follow longevity science, you know that leg strength is one of the biggest predictors of how well we will age. So I decided that it was time for me to stop just maintaining and to figure out what did my body need so that I could start doing what I needed to do to get really strong again. So this isn't just my personal story. My name is Coach Calie. I'm an integrative health practitioner. I have over 15 years of experience working with women in midlife, and I help them stop settling and start feeling like themselves again. So when my own body stopped responding, I didn't just try harder. I literally went looking for the answers that we all need. And before I picked those weights back up, I wanted to make sure that my body actually had the support that it needed to recover. And that means not just protein, not just adequate sleep, but those deeper pieces, the ones that quietly start to decline after 35, and they directly impact our body's ability to repair, to rebuild, and to respond to the training that we're putting so much effort into. So the question I stopped asking was, what do I need to do more of? And the question I started asking is, what has this phase of life depleted, and how can I fill those gaps? So here's what I came to understand in perimenopause and menopause that nobody's really talking about. This transition, it doesn't just change your hormones. It accelerates the hallmarks of aging, the biological processes that govern how our cells function, how they repair themselves, and how they produce energy. And in midlife, several of them start breaking down simultaneously. So first of all, we've got our NAD levels. They drop significantly after the age of 40. Mitochondrial function declines. Every cell in our bodies is working with less power. Cellular senescence accelerates. That means damaged cells are accumulating faster than our bodies can actually clear them out. And that drives chronic low-grade inflammation. So many of us feel that as that heavy weight in our legs, our clothes starting to feel tighter. Collagen synthesis drops. So that affects our joints and our ligaments and our muscle repair. Detox pathways become more sluggish. And the nutrient cofactors our bodies need to run all of these processes efficiently, they start depleting faster than diet alone can actually replace them. So this is why we feel like we're doing everything right, and it all still feels so wrong. It's not a willpower problem. I need you to hear that. This is biology. And yes, lifestyle absolutely plays a role. So we need to work on sleep and stress and adequate recovery and nutrition. Those are all foundational, but there's also a very real place for science-based, intentional, targeted supplementation. Not following, influencer trends, not throwing things at the wall and hoping, this stack is going to be the magic answer, but understanding exactly what your body's cellular machinery needs in this phase of life and then giving it that. So that's what I went looking for. And I honestly found something that changed everything for me. So I read all the clinical trials, I looked at all the research, I connected directly with the researchers, and I started testing things on my own body. And I landed on a formula that I honestly think is one of the most intelligently designed, synergistically formulated longevity stacks I've encountered. It is 15 ingredients, but it's not 15 separate pills that you have to navigate throughout the day. It's one single daily packet that you take first thing in the morning. Each one is rooted in reliable, peer-reviewed clinical studies and science. The actual compounds that are in this formula are the ones that the scientists are using in the trial. So they're not inspired by research. They are actually part of the research. And together, they're addressing all 12 of the major hallmarks of aging. So let me talk to you a little bit more about how the ingredients in the formula actually work together, because I think that's what's even more important than the individual ingredients, which I will detail in the comments below. But first we have NMN and transresveratrol, and they amplify our NAD production, and that's in our heart, our muscle tissue, by up to 70%. Then we have glycine and CA-AKG. Those two team up for collagen and connective tissue repair, which is why joint discomfort and recovery improve together. Sulfura Boost, that clears the detox pathways our liver needs to metabolize all the shifting hormones. Does a whole lot of other cool things too. D3, K2, and magnesium, non-negotiable triad. We can't fully utilize one without the other. Quercetin clears the cellular debris that's blocking all of the above from working as efficiently as it can. And this is what I mean when I talk about synergy and strategy. So we're not doing random supplementation based on different symptoms. We're doing a synergistic system that all works together on everything that's happening in our midlife bodies. And so for me, in the last 90 days, since I started incorporating this with my lifestyle work, I added back in weights. And I was able to double the weights that I could lift in 90 days during menopause after years of a plateau. So I found that my energy is more stable and sustained. I'm not getting the spikes and crashes. My brain comes online first thing in the morning. I just feel like up and ready to hit the ground running. My body composition has started to shift again. And I can feel the difference in my recovery. Like when I show up on my mat to work out, I can feel that I'm fully recovered and I have the energy to lift to failure or within a couple reps of that. I'm building back the leg strength that I lost during that year of Pilates, and I'm feeling stronger than I honestly have in years. So this is what it feels like when your body is actually supported at a cellular level. And I know so many of you are exactly where I was. You're doing everything right, but you feel like your body's quietly working against you. You're starting to downplay what you ask of yourself, what you believe is possible for your body in this season of life. And you might be thinking, this is just what midlife looks like now. I started to believe that. And I'm so glad that I proved myself wrong, because our bodies are not broken. They're under supported. And that's a big difference, because we can change the way that we support them. So here's how I suggest that we fix this together. If you want to give this formula a try alongside me, I'm going to drop the link to it in the comments below in the description. And when you order it, I will give you access free to my 90-day Midlife Reset Group. So in this group, I have you do a custom intake form, and that's going to help us identify your priority body systems that are feeling burdened, as well as your symptom burden. So we can see, is it your stress? Is it your sleep? Is it your blood sugar regulation? Is it your lymphatic pathways? Is it your digestion in your gut? And then I'm going to give you specific lifestyle recommendations to pair with your supplementation so that you can start to address the things that are blocking you from getting the results that you're working so hard for. We will reevaluate every 30 days over the 90 days. So you can not just hope that it's working, but you're actually going to be able to feel it and prove it. We'll do nervous system work, sleep, drainage pathways, liver support, midlife nutrition, blood sugar regulation, building the foundations that make everything work. And I'll be there with you every step of the way. So no more guessing, real results, and results that you can measure, because I know you probably have trust issues and decision fatigue at this point. So when you grab the formula through my link, forward me your confirmation email to the email that I'm going to list in the description. I'll send you access to the group. We are starting May 4th. And if this resonated, I would encourage you to please share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear it, because too many of us are quietly accepting a version of ourselves that doesn't have to be permanent.